All right. So next up, we'll be looking at the module 18, which is the Cisco IOS command line. So the Cisco ISO command line, we're looking at ISO navigation, the command structure, view device information. So let's look at navigating the ISO. Now, just like every regular command line, this is how a command line interface looks like. Alright, the Cisco iOS command line interface is a text-based program that enables entering and executing Cisco iOS commands to configure, monitor, and maintain Cisco devices. So the Cisco CLI can be used with either inbound or outbound management tasks. Alright, so what you want to you remember what I'm talking about, the inbound and outbound. So either you connect it using the serial port, alright, or you use the console port. So the command line, alright, commands are used to alter the configuration of the device and to display the current status of processing on the processes on the router. Now, the Cisco iOS software separates management access into the following two command modes. Alright, there is the user exec mode, alright, and the user exec mode, which is the EXEC, alright, has limited capabilities for basic operations and allows what basic monitoring commands, but not the execution of any commands that change device configuration. So privileged exec mode now, on the other hand, is used to execute configuration commands, higher configuration modes like global configuration mode, and can be reached from privileged exec mode. So the user exec mode is also known as what the view only mode. Then the privileged exec mode is used for um, accessing all features of the what router. So when you're on the user exec mode, it appears like this. All right, you'll be seeing this arrow. Well, on the privileged exec mode, it changes what hashtag. So you can watch the videos on the platform to see the different how those to learn more about how those two modes work. So there's something called the syntax checker. So it's a simulation tool that is used to help build configuration and troubleshooting skills. So each syntax checker activity includes a set of instructions to enter a specific set of commands. So you cannot progress a syntax checker unless the exact and full command is entered as specified. So more advanced simulation tools such as packet tracer let you enter abbreviated commands so much as you would on the real system. All right, so which means that you have to use the original command of the real system, not abbreviations like you would do on packet tracers. Let's look at the command structure. So each iOS command has a specific syntax and can only be executed in the appropriate mode. So which is it entails what the keyword and argument. So keyword now is a specific parameter defined in the operating system, right? Remember in Python you have Python keywords, right? They are hard defined, right? And they have what they actually do. All right, for example, now IP protocols is the keyword in what the Cisco iOS. Then argument now is a value of variable that is defined by you that is operating what iOS. So it's a variable is a variable because it can change. For example, IP address. When you're putting an IP address, it can change. All right. So let's look at this particular command now. This is in the what user exec mode, right? So you can see switch show what IP protocol. So IP protocol here is what a keyword. All right. So the last item that always comes what is a keyword or what argument. The first item here is what a command, and after the command you must give a space, right? Then before the command you see what the prompt. So a command might require one or more what arguments. So determine the keywords and arguments required for a command refers to the command syntax. So the syntax provides the pattern or format that must be used when entering a command. So for example, let's look at different conventions now. Boldface. So boldface text indicates command and keyword that you enter literally as shown. So once it's on boldface, all right, it means that is what command. Though italics, so italics indicates what argument for which you would supply values. Are you seeing it? So you can this is just like a guide. So now square brackets indicate what an optional element, which is either a keyword or argument. Then brackets or braces on the other hand indicates what a required element. Then now when you now merge brackets, square brackets and what brackets or braces, right? So braces and vertical lines within square brackets indicate a required choice within an optional element. Spaces, so spaces are used to what clearly delineate what parts of a command. So for example, now we have what y or what z. So this is like an option. Are you seeing? This is an option. Remember in Python we did that y or what z. So in the following example will demonstrate conventions used to document the use document and what use IOS commands. So for example, ping, then you can see IP address. So the IP address here is what an argument, right? So the ping is what the ping is a command, just like you can see it's what in boldface, and the user define what argument, which is going to be what IP address. So the IP address here is the IP address of the what destination device. So for example, ping what 10.10.10.5. Now let's look at trace route. Now trace route IP address. So the command there is what trace route, and the user defined argument is the what IP address. So for example, now say trace route 192. So let's assume you want to trace route a particular server. You just put the particular server's what IP address, or you put what the particular server's domain name. So some commands are in complex are what some commands can be complex with multiple arguments. For example, now this is on privilege what exec mode. So we have what switch port port security agent, then in brackets static, then time. So time, you now put the argument of the time here. Type, for absolute or what inactivity. So the Cisco ISO command reference is the ultimate source of information for a particular IOS. So let's look at hotkey structure. So we have different hotkeys that you can use in the console, all right, in this iOS. All right, Control E. So Control E moves the cursor to the end of the command line. Up arrow and or Control P recalls the previous command in the history. All right, down arrow goes to the next line in the history buffer. So Control R or Control I or Control L will displays what the system prompt and command line after a console message is received. Then we have enter that displays the next line, space displays the next string, and other key, any other key, all right, ends the display string, returning the previous prompt. All right, for example, let's say except y, so which answers were yes to the words more prompt. So we also have the control C. So when any configuration mode ends the configuration mode and returns to what privilege exec mode. Then control Z, when any configuration mode ends the configuration mode and returns to what privilege exec mode. Then you have control shift 6 all purpose break sequence used to what abort DNS lookup, trace route pings, and to interrupt an iOS process. So when, for example, when you are stuck in an infinity loop or something is loading, you just use control shift 6 and it will ends the process. Then there are still several other. There's tab, backspace, control D, control K, A, escape D, control U, control W, control A. Then you have the left for control B, escape D, escape F, right arrow, control F. All right. So there are several labs for you to practice this. So let's look at this. They are also show running configuration. So it's used to verify the current configuration and settings, show interface, verify the interface status, and see if there are any error messages. Show IP interface, so verify the layer 3 information of an interface. Show ARP, verify the list of what known hosts in the um, local Ethernet LANs. Show IP routes, verify the layer 3 routing information. Show protocols, so verify the protocols are what operational. Show versions, verify the memory interface and license of the what device. So we've just looked at several things, how the iOS works, the iOS command line interface works. We have looked at the two different kinds of modes in managing the iOS, right, or accessing the iOS. This is the user exec mode, which has limited functionality and is used for just basic operations, and the privilege exec mode, which gives you access to every feature of the particular what device. Then on the we have, you know that on the iOS, right, you have command, you have what attributes, right? Commands are always in bold faces. So that's wrapping up module 18. So we're going to moving up to the module 19. So module 19 says building a small home